Hi sisters, James Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As many of you guys know, yesterday was February 14th, meaning we celebrated Valentine's Day, which is probably my least favorite holiday of all time. I've been single for about 19 years now, and at this point, I'm really having trouble figuring out why. I mean, I like to think I'm pretty good looking, I'm funny every once in a while, have a beautiful house, steady income, lovely family, lots of Instagram followers, that's a fun plus too. I mean, I can really only think of one issue that may get in the way, and that's that I'm a boy and all the boys that I'm interested in are straight. But that can't be it, right? After a lot of thought, I finally decided, okay, James, you need help. It's been long enough. So I decided to reach out to Cupid. And as you can see from the 3 arrows lodged into my head right now, he was really out there trying for me yesterday. But unfortunately, I think the arrows may have missed the boys because I woke up today and I'm still single. Not gonna lie, at first I was really sad about it. I mean, I've wanted a boyfriend for so long now. I've been trying really hard. It hasn't been working out. Just imagine the cute dates and taking them out to dinner and driving around and taking cute Instagram photos with. But then my mood started to change and I really had to take a step back and think, why am I gonna spend the entire day being sad when I could be happy instead? I mean, I know my Prince Charming will come one day if I'm patient, maybe. And even if another boy doesn't love me back right now, at least I know that I love me, and that's all that matters. So I decided to spend my day on myself doing what I love the absolute most, playing with makeup. And this is the look that I came up with. So without further ado, if you want to see how I created this anti-Valentine's Day makeup look, keep on watching. All right, you guys, let's just jump right into this pretty in-depth tutorial. We're gonna be focusing mostly on the eyes, what's going on underneath the glitter, and also the arrows that we're going to sister stab into my head for a real one. So, as you can see, I'm starting off with my base already done. I just went ahead off camera and used my normal products like always. But for my brows, I did use something a little bit different that I get to tell you guys about today, and that is, drumroll please, the brand new Anastasia Dip Brow Gel. I am very honored that Anastasia asked me to be the first beauty guru to reveal this to you guys. It is basically exactly what you would think, a hybrid between Dip Brow and Brow Gel. It is an insanely pigmented, super full coverage, waterproof and smudge proof brow gel. It comes just like this, and this has literally been my newest staple addition to my brow routine. I'm obsessed with this. I'm not gonna go too much more in depth because Anastasia is gonna be talking about it a lot in the next few weeks, and if you guys wanna see how I fully use it, make sure to check out my video next Friday, but I just wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek of it now. Here it is, and get ready for this to literally take over the brow world. Now, that being said, my face is done, my brows are locked in place, and let's move right along to the eyeshadow portion of this look. I'm just gonna go ahead and zoom you guys right into my face so you guys can get all the details for the eye portions. I don't really do tutorials very often, but whenever I do it, you guys always ask me to zoom in so you can actually see what's going on. So hopefully this is good. Welcome to my face. It's very crusted and pimply right now, but we're gonna make it work. Starting off this look today, I'm just gonna grab my MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly and apply a generous coat of this to my eyelid. I'm just gonna blend this all over the lid, acting as our eye base / primer, and I'm not going to set this in with any powder. Grabbing the James Charles X Morphe palette and an M456 brush, use code James for 10% off your purchase. I'm gonna dip right into the shade Boutique with this brush and use this color to start stamping that cut crease shape into my lid. Just going to focus and push this color right above my natural crease because we are going to cut it a little bit later on, but I just want to lay down the darkest shade first, and then we're going to blend upwards. And once we get to this outer corner, I'm just going to feather it out and pull it up in the shape of a wing. I'm next gonna grab a little bit of a bigger fluffy brush. This is the M433 and dip into the shade Love That in the palette and use that to buff out Boutique. I'm basically just stamping this color on there and then using very tiny and light circular motions, just lightly diffusing it upwards. Make sure that there are no harsh lines or edges. Grabbing a different M433, I'm gonna dip into the shade Skip in the bottom corner. This is the bright neon pink. I'm gonna use that color to buff out Love That. I'm not liking how this is looking. Maybe if I grab a little bit of You're Kidding and put this over top. This eyeshadow look so far is turning out like every single relationship I've ever had. A major failure. That's looking a wee bit better. Now that we have the crease all laid out and kind of blended, I'm gonna grab a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and just put it on the back of my hand. And using a flat top brush, I'm just going to cut the crease. Okay, just going to stamp this brush right above my natural crease. And then we're just going to carve out the line. Wow, that is a cut crease if I ever did see one. Thank God something went right. I'd like to thank not only God, but also Jesus and Cupid. Just kidding, he's a little bitch. Once the lid is all cut and the concealer has dried down a little bit, I'm gonna grab an M124 brush and dip into the shade Pinkity Drinkity in my palettes, and I'm going to use this color to set in the lid. And then to cut that crease even further and just add a little pop of something, I'm gonna grab the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner. This one is in the shade Grind. It's like light pink, almost holographic glitter in here, and we're just gonna use this and line right in this crease area following that cut. You're gonna wanna take a deep breath and go very slow while you do this. Be patient because if you mess up this line, it's gonna look so crusted and dusted and wonky. You also will definitely have to do multiple layers of this liner because if you want it to look good, you have to do a lot of layers. If you do make any mistakes with the liner, just fan your eyeball until everything dries, and then very carefully, you can scrape it off using a pair of tweezers. So next for eyeliner, you could do just a black wing if that's all you have, but I feel like to go along with the pink and monochrome type look that we have going on, I wanna do a kind of like muted cranberry type of color. So I'm gonna grab two different Kylie liquid lipsticks. We have a bright pink, just a bright red, and then also a black gel liner, and kind of mix together a little concoction to get a muted maroon. I'm gonna grab my Anastasia number 12 brush, it's just an angled brush, and dip right into this and use this color to draw my winged liner. So that is pretty much the upper lid all complete. It was a little bit of a journey to get here, but in the end, I think this cut crease turned out really bomb. Let's go ahead and move on to the lower lash line. Using the same colors and brushes from before, I'm gonna grab my M456 and dip into a little bit of Love That and Boutique and buff that right up along the lower lash line. Just placing it right in there and making sure to connect that up with the outer wing as well. With my M433, gonna dip into Skip. I'm gonna pull the shadow down pretty far as well and really buff it out. We are gonna be putting on glitter, and I wanna make sure that there's kind of a color behind it, so be careful of any staining. Before I move on to any glitter, I'm gonna grab a little bit of the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in the shade Drug Lord and a tiny little detail brush. This is the Morphe M170-4 brush. And using a tiny little bit of this on the back of my hand, I'm going to use this to cut out my inner corner and also line my waterline. And I'm just gonna set that white in place using a little bit more of Pinkity Drinkity. Using a pencil brush, I'm gonna grab the shade Literally, and I'm going to use this color to highlight. I'm just gonna place this color right over my brow bone, and then right in that inner corner as well. And then with another tiny detail brush, I'm gonna dip into the shade Sister, which is a metallic kind of rose gold color. And I'm going to give that a quick little spritz of Prep and Set, and then apply that shade right over top of Literally. Oh, wow, look at that. So now I wanna go in and add little glitter heart tears to this look. If you guys remember a few months ago, I did my recreating my followers makeup looks video. I did that rainbow cloud eye, one of my favorite looks literally of all time, and I had little glitter tears dripping down from it. I'm basically gonna do the same exact thing on this side, but all in a monochromatic pink. I'm first just gonna dust off any translucent powder that I had sitting and baking on my face. To draw the little glitter tears, I'm just gonna grab a tiny liner brush. This one I literally still have my brush set from when I did my art supplies video over a year ago now. These ones are so good because they're so detailed. And then just dipping into a little bit more of Love That, I'm going to I'm basically just gonna scribble these in down my cheek. When I'm drawing these in, I'm using a super light hand, but then adding more pressure in certain areas, just so the color for once isn't all even throughout. And this is gonna give it kind of that like watercolor, actual teardrop type of effect. And then on top, I'm basically just going to randomly apply an assortment of loose glitters. These ones are from In Your Dreams Cosmetics, I believe. This one is from Violet Voss. And then I also have these chunky glitters that I got, I think, from Michaels. And they have tiny little pink heart glitters in here, which is perfect. And I'm gonna glue these on the tears as if I'm like crying hearts. Starting with the tiny little hearts, I'm just gonna use lash glue to dab them on. If you have any really ridiculous pimples, this is a great way to cover it right up. All right, sisters, and I think that is one eye of this anti-Valentine's Day look all complete. I love how this little glitter crying tears cut crease turned out, but that did take me quite a little bit of time. Sorry for not talking very much. I'm gonna quickly go off camera and do the other eye and mirror as close as I can get, pop on a pair of lashes, and I'll be right back to finish off the rest of the look and get into some sister special effects with Cupid's arrows. All right, sisters, so we are back. The eyes are looking relatively symmetrical right now, and I also popped on a pair of Lily Lashes Miami So Extras on the eye. I think the eyes turned out so beautiful, but now it is time to move on to the rest of the face. So next up is of course going to be the highlighter. We have to get our glow on, which I'm now realizing I probably should have done before adding the glitter tears, considering it's gonna like overlap a little bit, but it wouldn't be a James Charles video without some poor planning. So Let's do it. I'm gonna grab the Morphe Prep and Set setting spray and give my face a quick little spritz just so the highlighter has something to stick to. And then grabbing my Morphe M501 brush, I'm just gonna dip right into the shade Literally from my palette and lay this down as like it's kind of like a blush mixer pre-highlighter color. Then using a JH30 brush, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of a mixture of Face and also a tiny bit of Sister for a more pink rose gold iridescent glow. Give it a quick little spritz of Prep and Set, and then just go right in over top for a blinding glow. If I can't attract the boys myself, maybe this highlighter will help. Not with jokes like that, oh my God. A little bit above the brow bone as always. And then, down the center of my nose. You guys, I don't know how my nose contour looks this good right now, and it's probably never gonna look like this again. So let's say a silent prayer and cherish this moment as we highlight using a pencil brush. This is the M431 and a little bit more of Face. Now we get to move on to the lips. So for the lip, I do want to stick with a nude color. I know, kind of boring. Of course, you could do a maroon or like a darker color to match the liner, but since we have so much going on and we're gonna add more in a few minutes, I do think a nude will be a good option. So before I do that though, I am gonna grab the Kylie liquid lipstick that we used beforehand for that bright pink. This is Say No More, and use this to just line the lips. So when we add the nude over top, it'll be like a very pinky nude as opposed to a more peachy nude. Honestly, it doesn't even look that bad, that pink, but that's like a little much for me, I think. Oh, that was a rhyme. It doesn't even look that bad, that pink, but that's a little bit much for me, I think. Oh. On top of that, I'm gonna add the Ofra liquid lipstick in the shade Sao Paulo. You guys know this is my all-time favorite nude. You can use code James for 30% off. And I'm just gonna layer this over top to, like I said, create a more nudie color out of this bright pink. And then finally, just a little bit of Drug Lord right in the middle for a nice highlight. All right, sisters, that is pretty much this Valentine's Day look all complete. I'm now realizing that it would have been a lot smarter to add the glitter tears in the next step along with the arrows to go from like a Valentine's Day wearable, actually pretty look to a more like non-wearable anti-Valentine's Day look. But guess who didn't think of that? Me. So I guess this is your wearable Valentine's Day look for today. And you could totally stop here. I mean, even with the glitter tears, I think this look did turn out very, very beautiful. But if you were like me and you've been single for a very, very long time, 19 years to be exact, and you do not like this holiday anymore, keep on watching and let's add some special effects to make this an anti-Valentine's Day look. So jumping right in, before we even get to the makeup portion, I'm gonna teach you guys how to make the arrows super quickly. Love being a cute little DIY channel. What you're going to need is red construction paper. I just got this from literally the dollar store. A pair of Sister scissors, some super glue, and then also a pair of chopsticks from the last time that you ordered Chinese food. So basically what I'm gonna do is start by folding my construction paper right in half, and then just using my pair of scissors, I'm gonna cut out a parallelogram geometry out of this. Is that what it's called? A parallelogram, 4 sides, definitely a parallelogram. Oh, okay. And if you open it up, oh, you have the bottom of an arrow. Wow, I am such a queen of DIYs. Lord DIY is shaking. Okay, then I'm just gonna cut this shape right in half again on the fold. Now we have 2, and then I'm just gonna repeat that step one more time. Now cut it in half. I'm just gonna take my pair of chopsticks and rip them right in half, just like that. And then carefully, I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of glue on the edge of this chopstick, and I'm going to stick on the bottoms of the arrow. Okay, perfect. While this dries, I have a roll of toilet paper sitting right here that we're gonna use later on, but I'm just going to stick this right in here and let it chill. And just repeat the same exact process 2 more times for 2 more arrows. All right, we are back and all 3 arrows are complete. I took my shirt off so we can do some special effects stuff. Unfortunately, that's gonna be all the shirt taking off that I'm gonna be doing this time of year. These Valentine's Day jokes are getting so old already. Oh my God. We get it, I'm single forever. Okay, moving on. I'm just gonna take a really insanely sharp pair of scissors. Please be careful and use your parents' permission if you, for some reason, are recreating this look. And I'm basically just going to cut this like here. Okay. Next, I'm gonna grab a little bit of the Ben Nye Nose and Scar Wax. I'm just gonna grab one of the brushes that I have laying out here and grab a little chunk just like that. And basically what I'm going to do is form this around the bottom of the arrow that we just cut, so one, I don't stab myself with wooden shards. But I'm also going to flatten the bottom edge just like that and kind of pinch it out. So therefore, when we stick the arrow to the skin, it actually has like a surface to glue to as opposed to just like flopping down. Once a piece is all set and has a flat bottom, I'm just going to set this arrow off to the side and let that scar wax dry out a little bit. And now we're gonna get started on the arrow holes. So if you've been subscribed for a while, you may have seen me do a few different special effects things before. I did the mermaid video, I did the melting skull video, and I also did the video with the twins and Emma for Halloween. My knowledge when it comes to special effects is really not that great at all. It is something that I really want to learn a lot more about, but those few things have allowed me to achieve basically every look that I've tried so far, so we're good. What I'm gonna start off with is a little bit of Ben Nye liquid latex. Just gonna pour a little bit of it too in the bottom of the cap. And then just grabbing an old dirty sponge that I was about to throw out anyway, I'm just gonna dip it right into the cap. And I'm just going to dab this on right where I'm gonna place the first arrow hole. And quickly before it dries, I'm gonna grab a little bit of toilet paper, just like this, and basically rip a like circular shard, kind of, just like that. And I'm just gonna stick it right over top of that area, flatten it down using my hand. And then just grabbing a little bit more liquid latex, I'm going to go right in and just press that right in and go over those edges. And then we're just going to let this dry. While that dries, I'm just gonna start prepping the second arrow hole over here, and then a hole right down here too. To lock those in place, I'm just gonna use a little bit of translucent setting powder to make sure that none of the latex is still sticking. And then just using a small concealer brush and a little bit of foundation on the back of my hand, I'm going to quickly repaint over those areas to disguise the latex. Now that the new skin is pretty much as disguised as we're gonna be able to get it, we get to do the fun and also dangerous part, so please be careful. But I'm gonna grab a tiny little pair of eyelash scissors, and I'm basically going to cut a small hole in the skin, right in the middle of where the toilet paper is. Once you get through, you just kind of snip around a little bit and take some of the excess off to kind of form a hole. So that is pretty much exactly what you're going for. It looks really, really gross, I know, but we're gonna fill it up. So now I'm gonna grab the arrow and then grabbing a little bit of spirit gum. This stuff is basically like liquid adhesive. It is what a lot of drag queens use to glue down their wigs. Just gonna put a little bit of this inside of the hole on my skin. And you actually activate this glue by tapping it. So I'm just gonna kind of jiggle my finger in there a little bit, just so it gets kind of tacky. Then I'm also gonna put a generous layer of that on the bottom of the scar wax that we put on earlier. And I'm going to tap that as well until it gets tacky. Once it's looking pretty good, I'm basically just going to take this arrow and carefully maneuver it right into the hole and then stick it to my forehead. Well, this is not going well. Instead, we're going to figure this out. I mean, I can super glue this to the thing, but you think that'll stick it to my head? I don't care, let's go. This is so not safe. That's okay, don't do this at home. Please stay, please stay, please stay. Yes! I am the queen of special effects. Just to let everybody know. Before this literally falls off my head, I have two different types of blood, the liquid Ben Nye stage blood and the not liquid Ben Nye thick blood. I'm gonna use a mixture of both of these to make it look like this is bleeding. I'm just going to dab this around for the puncture wound. This is also going to help hide the seams of the liquid latex too. I'm gonna put some kind of going up the base of the arrow as well, because if this were to actually fly into my head, there would definitely be some sister splatter. That is dark. Gonna use my hand to tap out any excess and to kind of fade it in. And then I'm just going to use some thick blood, and this is going to go right inside of the hole. Ooh, this stuff is so gross and actually makes it look like real. Like the tendons are really just like flying out for a real one. And that is one arrow all complete. Oh my God, you guys, I cannot believe how freaking real and crazy this looks. I'm gonna now do the other two quickly and carefully before this one flies off, and I'll be right back with the finished look. Sisters, several hours, lots of liquid latex, and lots of super glue later. That is this anti-Valentine's Day look all complete. Unfortunately for me, I'm still very much single, which means Cupid's arrows did not hit any boys from yesterday, but I think he may have missed and hit me twice because I am literally in love with how this makeup look turned out today, and I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you celebrated Valentine's Day yesterday with a significant other, must be nice, cannot relate, but hope you guys had a really fun and fresh time. Wishing you the absolute best. Or if you were like me and you were sister single, I still hope you had a really fun time yesterday. While having a boyfriend or girlfriend does low-key kind of sound pretty fun and fresh, don't rush it. The right person will come when you least expect it, and you guys will live happily ever after. And all that matters at the end of the day is that you love yourself And hey, you also got me, Sister James here, loving you as well. All that being said, if you guys enjoyed today's video and you like how this anti-Valentine's Day makeup look turned out, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up down below and show your love and support. It really means so much to me and helps me out a lot. And also, if you have not already, don't forget to click that big red subscribe button down below and come join this sisterhood. We are 14 million sisters strong, and I'd love to have you join the family. Also, make sure you click the bell icon so you can get a notification every time I upload a brand new video. If you'd like to follow me on my makeup journey, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. They're both just James Charles, and my Snapchat for more behind the scenes type stuff, the place where you'll probably find out if I ever do get a boyfriend first, is James Charles with an extra S after Charles. This video's sister shout out goes to Sister Snacks. Thank you so much, love, for always following and supporting. You know I love you so much, and if you at home would like to be the next video's sister shout out, don't forget to always retweet video links when they go live on Twitter, and also turn on my YouTube post notifications. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video today. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!